So let me go ahead and get my sound check going, and then we'll go and start the video. I'll go and put these on all the different Tri-Klops so you can look at them while we're waiting for the sound check. That's so crazy. It's supposed to already be playing, and it's not playing. And let me open the app. Here we go. Oh, there we go. Sound check. Sound check. All right. You can also hear how long the delay is too. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. Looks like I have one person on here. So if you're my person, go and sound off and let me know who you are. And then we'll go ahead and get this rolling. So before we jump into the new Tri-Klops, ooh, there he is. Let's talk about some of the old Tri-Klopses first. So this right here is similar to the 80s figure. Now this is actually the commemorative, you can tell because it has indented feet on the bottom, which is a huge giveaway that it's a commemorative. And the original had like 3 or 4 different faces and they all had different frowns on them. Hey Dean, thanks for joining us. And then of course he had the 3 different eyes. And I always pretend like they were different levels, like there's level 1, level 2, and then level 3 and so on. Hold on. I gotta plug in my battery. My phone is just losing power like it's no one else's business. All right. Now, when I was a kid, like the blue one was to see in the dark because it's blue, and then the red one would blast some huge giant blast at people. And then of course this one right here was so he could see through objects. So that was kind of my 3 eyes that I used to pretend like he would have. So blaster in the dark, see-through objects like an x-ray eye. So I used to draw little pictures showing that and stuff. So it was kind of cool. Then we had our 2000X, which was a fun one because not only did he have his eyes, he also had a feature where it looked like it lit up because he had like a clear, I don't have a good flashlight to show you guys here. Hold on. I have a light somewhere. Light. Here we go. So you can see it would look like his eye kind of lights up by using the light on top, which was kind of cool. And then as you rotate it around, you know, and line it up just right, you can have that eye glow as well. And some people didn't realize they had this cool feature on there because the top of his head is clear. So, so basically it lights up his eye if you put it over the top. Just like a fiber optic kind of deal. You can kind of see the clear spot up on top of his head right there. So there you go. So, and in the cartoon with him, it was like every single eye had a blast. So it was like, well, it didn't seem like there was much of a difference, but they did add some cool new feature, and that was his extra little Doom Seeker that would allow him to see through the Doom Seeker's eye. So I always thought that, you know, it would actually take the place of one of these 3 eyes. So there you go. Wow, you guys are typing all kinds of stuff on there. Sorry about that. I should be looking at your guys' comments. So then we had our classics. Hey, Mike V, thanks for joining us. Adam M, thanks for being here. Commander Ed, thanks for being here. It does look like a Christmas edition. So then on our classics, now I actually added, you know, a blaster to his eye because to me it made sense to have a blaster on there. And I stole this from Boba Fett. For those that didn't see, it was his blaster from his gun. And it is removable. It just sticks into the hole that's already existing there. But he came with the Doom Seeker as well. And I went and bought a bunch of these when they first came out. And I decided to keep one Doom Seeker from each one. And then I sold the figure later on. That way I could pretend like he has 3 Doom Seekers, 1 for each eye. And basically you can use a Doom Seeker eye or his actual eye on his helmet to see through. Can you show us your rarest figure and most valuable figure, favorite custom, and your figure custom that you never got rid of, even though you have to sell every one? Bob, that is a good question, and I'll probably make a video about that sometime. That's kind of a fun one. So Bob, keep that in mind, and then we'll check that out. All right. So this was the cool classics one, and then we got, I don't know which came first, the loyal subjects or the Super 7 one, but here's the Loyal Subjects one. Pretty cool. And again, he has the 3 eyes, and it actually kind of cool. Actually clicks into place as you do this. Now, I've had to fix his armor a couple times because my granddaughters have ripped off the back of his armor. You can kind of see all the glue on the back there from them pulling the sword out, and then just so now the sword just stays in his hand. Not going to risk it anymore. Huh. Look at that. It's backwards. Here's the blue. I just realized it spins the opposite direction. And then his menacing red eye is the next one over. So this one goes the other direction. See? So that's crazy. And then his evil eyes. So this one actually spins the other direction. That's so weird. Oh well. Now I'm wondering what the classics. Nope, they go the right direction. Okay, cool. So then we have our Super Duper Pooper 7 one. I should have pulled this sword out so you guys can see. And of course with this one, the problem we had was the head was glued from paint. And so nobody could spin it without breaking it. I was able to free mine. And so mine spins around. And his eyes are round, triangle, and square, just like the cartoon. So he doesn't have the same type of thing. In the cartoon, he had different eyes that did different things as well. So Super 7 released this envelope that they sent to us, and this has a head that works. I never opened it, so I have a head inside here of Tri-Klops. So there you go. Let's see. My Tri-Klops from creation can't stand up. Well, that really stinks. Hopefully mine stands. We'll see how it goes. And then I also made this cool little custom. And this custom was, and I used the lightsaber from, the light sword from, oh, what is her name? I just had her name before the video. I knew I was going to forget. She was based on Grace Jones, and she's purple, and she's from She-Ra. Anyway, when I made just the handles for her to have, I cut off the sabers on 2 of them so she could have one or the other, so I decided to make it so that this happened to fit right in his eye. So there we go. He has a blaster there as well. All right. So my goal was to get him. You know what? I did not show. Let me pull him out here. Burp. This guy here. So here's the one we got for Origins. And his eyes go in the right direction, just like the original toy did. So that's cool. And there he is, sword holder on the back, just like we saw when we were kids. And let's go ahead and set him aside, because you guys have probably all seen him and have one of your own, and he'll have the same articulation we'll see in a minute with this guy. So I was excited about this guy for a couple reasons. 1, because he's from the mini comic, and 2, because I wanted to use his armor and parts to make my own mini comic version for classics. So that's why I got him. It was all my excitement was about. And so, and it looks like they re-released the Terror of Tri-Klops in the back there too. So that's kind of cool. I didn't realize they were going to do that. And they have a really cool back box art on the back. Look at that. Bum, bum, bum. And there we go. All right, let's look at your comics. The Loyal Subjects one is cool. Yeah, I love how that one looks. Whew. You know what's kind of annoying before I pop into this is the Filmation He-Mans that they made for Super 7 and Mattel. They got super expensive. So I bought a couple extras of these just to customize them into Super 7 He-Man myself, because, you know, it has the right colors. You know, the boots don't have the fur across the top, but the shorts the right colors, has the orange bands. He's tan, about the same shade. And I thought, cool, I'll just take the armor off, swap out the head with a custom painted head that I can get from somebody, and then I'll be set. I'll have, and of course, get armor. Then I'll be set, and I can do some, you know, He-Man custom figures, which at the time were super expensive, and these guys were new, so you could still buy these pretty cheap. So as I went to go to remove the armor, and I haven't glued it back, because he had this big giant knob on his back to hold his armor in place. That's part of the plastic, and he has it on front too. And it's like, well, man, that stinks they did that, because that's right where He-Man's armor sometimes goes across. You'd see this big old clump right there to keep the armor in place. And they kind of gave him a little bit of a humpback So it looks almost like, kind of a caveman looking deal going on there. So, and it's weird too, is his chest is the same as the Prince Adam chest, where it's super smooth on both sides, as opposed to having the ridges across it like we see with the other He-Man figures. So it just, with the new body they gave him, which doesn't make sense to cast a whole new body just for this figure, just so he can have his armor held in place. That just seemed really odd. It's like, why, Super 7? Why? Right? Anyway, sorry, I know. I'm digressing. Let's just get moving forward. All right, so let's go ahead and bust open this figure. Get the skeletons out of the way. So cool. Now, looking at it, I'm not super happy with the green that they used. It looks just a little too light to me. I'm kind of tempted to pull out my old comic and take a look. I might just do that in a minute here. I know they have the comic here included. You can already see that it's the wrong color. I was afraid they might change the color of the comics to match their creation, but nope. They actually have the comic with the colors we know and grew up with, but they don't match the colors of the figure. It's all the green across the top here, and it's almost like he has more green than red in the comic, but in the toy he has more red than green. So, and I was hoping this piece right here would be a loose piece that you could take off or put on, or however you want to do it, because in the comic it looks like it's a loose piece just hanging across there. Almost like maybe it's a way to hold his sword or something. I don't know. But anyway, that is cool. They actually re-released the exact same comic. And you can see how much green is in there in comparison to the figure with how much red it has on it. Interesting. All right. Well, now that I complained about it, it looks like they did use that for his sword, like I was saying. So that's kind of cool. Glad they did that. The sword has a yellow and silver to it. I like the silver paint. That's cool. I see he also included his Wonder Woman boots. Yes, if you look at the older Wonder Woman, she had the same kind of boots, very similar to this. The red boots with a white stripe down the front. Now his skin tone is like a really weird pinkish hue. I don't know why they just didn't go with the same skin tone. I mean, when you look at comics, they always look faded, so it's kind of hard to tell what his skin color should be. I mean, you can see how even how light He-Man looks in this one, and Skeletor looks like he's light blue, and especially on the inside too. And He-Man's pink too. So if they went off the comic colors, you really can't when you're trying to, create figures to match. Now it does come with the cool ring, and it's the same ring that we got with our classic figures. So you can see it kind of glows in the dark. Maybe I'll turn the lights off in a little bit so you guys can see. Well, let's go ahead and check them out. So, that's what I was going to do. If I was going to make a custom, I was going to use Superman's boots and paint a white stripe down them to make my custom for classics. These are the Superman that's similar to classics, and I was just going to use these. But I really couldn't find any good shorts. These are the closest I could find. But it's such a different shade of green, it just would not work very well. But let's go ahead and break it down. So we have ankle articulation, we have boot cut, knee joint, upper leg, knee joint. Those are pretty loose knees. And then rotation there, ankle there. He's sporting a little bit of a heel on his boot. Did the other one have that? Where is it? No, he did not. That's weird. Maybe he did steal Wonder Woman's boots. And then the middle part rotates. It almost feels spring-like. That's funny, but it's not. Shoulder. Ooh, his elbow's frozen. I'm going to have to... oh, there we go. Got it without breaking it. This elbow. Ooh, nope, not frozen, but tight. His shoulder. And his head. And his eyes. Now his eyes look very plain. It's kind of weird how plain they look. So you can see the difference. With the eyebrow on these ones, it just looks a lot different. I don't know. It's just the paint looks so much different. I don't have an iris on this either. Or and that's the red one, and this one's blue on this one. Yep. Not really a fan. I still have to make my custom and distill the armor. All right, let's see how easy the armor comes off. And let's see how it fits on a classics figure. Then I'll check your guys' comments out because you guys are posting all kinds of stuff. I also want the Origins Roboto. What Superman is that? They released the Superman figure from the Dark Knight Returns, and the Superman is the same body as the classics figures. It's really cool. They made some Batmans that way too. And so I was able to score. This is not my spare parts man. This is actually Dogator. I had an extra Dogator sitting around, and I thought, you know what? He's darker skin tone, so it might work good for giving him that extra head in the envelope. It's not quite as dark, but it's closer. And I thought the green might be kind of cool to stick on there. But let's see how this fits. Ooh. That is hard to get on there. Not because it's bigger, it's just hard to fit it back in that little hole. There we go. Okay, on this side though, you can tell it's obviously a little tighter than it is on the Origins, because they have larger back muscles on the side, the lats. So that is a tight fit, but we will make it work. We can do it. We have the technology. I should have got some hot water to stretch this armor out better. Fit. Always reminds me of Rugrats with that kid on the slide. And then the big boy's yelling at him, "Go, little kid, go. No, big boy, no. You can do it." Ah, wow, that is tight. And of course it rides up on his belly. It's like he's wearing his shirt from his childhood. So yes, it can kind of fit on a classics figure, but it's a lot of effort, and his sword sticks out weird because the angle was back. But it can be done. But you know what? I just don't like how it looks. It doesn't really match the classics. It looks very cartoony. I actually don't like it on the classics. Classics are too detailed for this cartoony look, so it's going back on him. All right. So in a second, I'm going to show you guys the Superman and Wonder Woman so you guys can see the boots that I'm talking about, and both the boots for the Superman and the boots for Wonder Woman. Ugh. Stand, man. So if I'm trying to make figures stand, a lot of times I'll put my fingers on their feet and then I'll just pull them really tight up, and sometimes that will help make them stand. I used to do that a long time ago with my Beast Man because he had the hardest time standing. Are you going to leave him shirtless? That's funny. Never mind. Todd, you going to tear him apart? Mine is still in the package. Laughing out loud. Nope, not going to tear him apart. All right, let me go ahead and pull out that Superman. Select player. Anyway. Ta-da! So here is Superman from the Dark Knight series. And it's cool because it is the same, has a lot of the same parts as classics. That's where I stole the boots from. And then let's get ourselves a classic Wonder Woman. It's crazy. All the new Wonder Woman now have all the new they all have the new boots because it's the new Wonder Woman. There we go. Ta-da! And there is his boots. They are a match. Even has the high heel. So he stole his boots from Wonder Woman. Hey, woman, give me your boots. Oh. So, there you go. All right. Are you going to get the 2021 toys? You know, I don't know. That's like Revelation. I kept saying to myself, I'm not going to buy, I'm not going to buy, I'm not going to buy them. And now I have every single Revelation figure they made so far. And it's like, I don't know. I keep thinking to myself, I'm not, even Origins. I'm not even a huge fan of Origins. And I got every single one too. It's just, it's a sickness, man. It's a sickness. So, haven't even finished cleaning my desk up. Well, check it out. I got the Turbo Man doll. My son, for my birthday, was going to get me a Turbo Man doll. And then he decided to get me a gift certificate, but didn't tell me what he was planning to get. And so then I took a picture and showed him the Turbo Man doll that I got with the gift certificate. And he said, "That is so funny, Dad. I had that same thing in my hand, and I was going to buy it for you for your birthday." And here I ended up getting the same thing that he was planning on buying me. I had no idea that's what he was planning. So he was cracking up laughing. So he couldn't believe I actually got the thing that he almost got me anyway before he got me the gift card. So it's kind of funny. Yeah, he's a good kid. Yeah. Anyway, you guys, thanks for joining me tonight. I'm going to actually call this video. Probably thinking, what's he going to call it? I'm going to call it done. So, you know what? These shorts actually look kind of cool on him. I don't know. What do you guys think? Anyway, like, subscribe, tell your friends, and I will see you guys next video. I am working on some new revised swords, just as a heads up. These new swords are pretty cool. They feature some new things. Let me show you an old one versus a new one. So here is the old sword, and I haven't got it on eBay yet. They will be though by this weekend. So the new sword, the old sword was cool. I actually liked it a lot, but it was smooth right here, and because of that, it's also really thin, and they have a tendency to bend. And so sometimes people would get swords that were bent. And so the new sword, you can see it's got a nice little ridge now on there instead of just flat. And it has less tendency to bend because now it's thicker in this area all the way along. It's like 3 millimeters thicker in this area. And then I also added a slight radius. You can see it right there on the handle on both the top and the bottom, and right there on top. So that new radius, so I have a radius right here now, a radius right here now, and a radius right here. These old swords sometimes would snap right there at the handle, just like that. And so the newer swords are much stronger and they don't snap as easy. So that's why I added the radius to give it a little bit more strength. The handle is just slightly smaller, so it fits in the hand better. And that's the new sword. And the reason why I made the new sword was not so I can say, hey everybody, look, I made a new sword, go rebuy them. It's because I'm planning on making a She-Ra sword version out of this. And before I made the She-Ra one, I wanted to look back and see all the slim mistakes that I had on the old sword. And some people complained of theirs breaking here. So that's why I made the radius there. And then I got tired of always trying to, I mean, I have so many swords that are bent. I got a whole bucket full of swords that all have slight bends that I felt were too bent to sell. So I ended up, as I was selling, I'm kind of going through and setting all the ones aside that were bent. So the new ones, though, because they're thicker, don't bend as easy during manufacturing, so I'll have less scrap. So that's kind of cool. Anyway, the idea was eventually I'm going to make a She-Ra one. I want to stick a blue jewel here, and basically I'll print a small little blue part out of clear blue that will slide in there, and that way then you'll have a gray sword with a clear blue spot for She-Ra, and it will match this sword exactly. I should see how the sword fits in She-Ra's hand. I'm hoping not to remake the handle size, because if you get it too small, it'll break too easy. So let's see how it fits. Yep, her hand is stretched out right now, but it does look like it's the same size. So that is cool. Yeah, check that out. So I wanted to change the size of the handle at all. And she'll have the exact same size sword with the blue jewel, so they'll have actual twin swords, just like the original cartoon was. So even though it's not the Filmation style, it's the original classic style, which is my favorite rendition of the sword, just because it's what I grew up with. But it is also a full sword, not a half sword. Anyway, I'll stop talking about my swords. I'm excited about it, so hopefully I'll have the She-Ra one done in a couple weeks. I'll sell them in pairs for people that want to get them in pairs to save money. So if you wanted to replace your He-Man sword and She-Ra one, have a match, I'll have the pairs for sale too. You should make a sword holder for that He-Man like the cartoon. That's a good idea. I'll have to look into that and see. But it does fit into the back. So there it is. All right. Anyway, that's all I got for you guys today. Thanks for watching. Be on the lookout for the swords coming soon. If you want to get your own Tri-Klops, there's a link in the description you can click. If you just want to see how much they're going for on eBay to see the crazy prices, click the link as well. I do get paid for people that click the link and then buy stuff. So if you're going to get something, just click the link first, and that way it will help support this channel. All right, you guys. I will see you next video. Yes, the Origins He-Man did not come with a boot knife. The only ones that do are the ones that came in a special 2-pack from Comic-Con. So yeah, all the other ones, this is the Comic-Con one. You can tell because the skin color's slightly different. I don't have another He-Man out right now. And there's some other slight differences too. All right, like, subscribe, tell your friends.